G'day everyone, and welcome to another Tempest video. So it's not going to be a quick one today, as this is a big announcement. And what is it? Well, we have our first resource. So that means that we're not just explorers hoping to find something anymore. Don't get me wrong, we still love exploration, and we're going to continue doing that across our amazing portfolio of gold and other metals. But now we have something tangible, and as it looks pretty good, we're going to, keep on developing that. So, to hear more about that, let's get straight into the announcement. At the top here, we have the obligatory dot points and summary, but today I'm not actually going to skip over those. We ended up with 63 million tonnes at 30.6% iron. Not too shabby an effort for only a few holes. Importantly, we also have a serious opportunity to grow this, and well, I'll talk more about that later. Today I was not really forced, but a little bit peer pressured into including another quote. As everyone who knows me knows, I am not the biggest fan of these quotes in ASX releases, but on this occasion, I can only wholeheartedly agree with myself, really. We've got a resource only a few months after an exploration drill program, and we've rapidly progressed what looks to be an amazing deposit. Yeah. Moving on. I think this is a really great picture. It summarizes a lot of stuff in one fell swoop. Just look at the red and orange everywhere. Red and orange is good, by the way. Scrolling down here, we go through a summary of the Yalgoo project and the Remorse Deposit history. For anyone who's not familiar with the story, this should be useful, and there's plenty of reference material there in our previous releases. So here we run down on the resource estimation itself. As I mentioned already, it's 63.5 million tonnes at 30.6% iron. That's the headline number. It's all inferred, and here's a table with some of the working behind it. And here we go with some of the more technical details. For those of you who aren't technical who are watching, don't panic and don't press stop on the video. We're not going to go into too much detail. In fact, dare I say it, if you read the announcement, you'll see there isn't a huge amount of information there. It's what's required. It's nice and succinct, and that's the way we like it. You see some announcements of this style that have 30 pages of geological wandering. We haven't put that in there. If you want to nerd out on the technical stuff, you can check out the JORC table in Appendix B at the end of the document itself. And of course, we have the report available for analysis as well. However, I am going to go over some of the key technical points, and first one is that it's an inferred resource, as it's our first pass doing this, and frankly there's not that many drill holes, in fact 21, and those drill holes are circa 500 meters spaced apart, which gave us about 4 kilometers of strike length of estimation, and it goes down to about 275, 290 meters maximum. Unlike, dare I say, some of our peers in the industry, our density calculation is not a guess or an estimation. It's calculated based on the chemistry and a whole bunch of variables that we and high quality data that we collected during the drilling process. So we're very, very happy with that one, and that leads also down into the estimation, which was done via a inverse distance squared, which is a estimation method. We don't have enough drill holes yet, frankly, to really do any serious geostatistics, but the results are very high quality already, and you can see that there was a lot of checks and verifications done, which shows that it's a solid estimation, and there's not a huge amount of variability in the grade of this iron deposit so far anyway. So that's also makes it a little bit easier. Here below everything, we have a nice long section or longitudinal projection. That gives us a nice overview of everything. But instead of leaving it there as a boring picture for everyone, especially those who have stuck around this long in this video, I'm going to transition seamlessly here onto another screen on my computer, which has Micromine running. For those who are interested, the document itself says that we used Leapfrog for the estimate, and we did, but I know for a fact that Vulkan and a few other bits and pieces made an appearance in this process as well. And it's pretty cool that with all these great technologies these days that many in the industry aren't utilizing to its maximum yet, it's pretty amazing that we can just swap data between these different tools to visualize stuff. It's relatively easy and definitely very fast compared to the old days. Okay, so here we've got a top view of the whole Yalgoo project. There's a number of different areas in that whole area. I'm going to zoom down here to the Remorse Deposit, and we can see everything. I'll turn on some geology and some drill holes, and we'll turn on the resource model. Nice. And then we'll spin it around a little bit and make everyone nice and nauseated. We get to see a bit more of the detail while we're doing that. Look at that. It's too easy. Look at those blocks, those colours. Red's good, orange is good, yellow is okay, and green is not ideal. So there's not much of the green. Alright, now I'm going to cut a slice through it all, and then we're going to work our way from west to east. We can see we go through, there's a couple drill holes, nice intercepts, and then we'll go through one of our main drill sections. Big thanks to Mike and others on site for their work during that period, by the way, because it was pretty hard going. Another drill section, one of our big thick intercepts that we announced at the start. And then we go through the main fault zone and into the western part of the ore body. As we keep scrolling through, go past a few more drill holes. There's drill hole 180 with its high grade intercept. And then we go out through the outside of the western side. Anyway, that'll do for now. I can get seriously lost playing in 3D software, so best I move on with the announcement, hey? Scrolling down a tad more onto the next page, we hit another important section of the release, and that's the yet-to-be-tapped potential of the deposit. To be honest, we've been extremely conservative with this resource estimate on a number of fronts, and one of those is the cutoff grade. Here we have the tonnage grade curve, and the natural crossover between those two variables, it does conveniently come out at about 28, and that and other reasons is the reason we use that as our cutoff, and that's the source of the 63.5 million tonne number that we've quoted. However, as many of you may know, many of the operating magnetite mines in Australia use a cutoff grade significantly lower than indeed what we've used, and dare I say it, it's the bottom one on this table is very common indeed. One cool thing about that is it's our first resource, and it's just north of it's just larger than the lower end of our exploration target that we released not that long ago. If you use 20 as a cutoff, then you get the number that's very close to the upper range of that same exploration target calculation we did. And for me, that gives us a lot of confidence in the veracity of what we're doing. And when the numbers start to line up like that, I think it should give the investors a confidence in what we're doing as well, and also in the quality of the ore body. Back to the potential. Another reason we think it's conservative is that it's actually shown nicely in this very simple diagram here. A very large proportion of the known mineralization wasn't estimated at all, simply because it's too far away from drill holes. And that's fair enough, of course, but there's the opportunity for us. As you can see, this Remorse thing is open in every direction, and it likely continues undercover where we can't see it at the surface. So, exciting times to come. Of course, at the bottom we have the next steps. They're nice and simple and short. Some of you may know already, we've got metallurgical testing going as we speak. We're expecting the results for that any day now. We're looking into doing some more follow-up drilling and to upgrade the resource. And we're already well down the track of looking into approvals. We've started that process. We're moving towards development as fast as we can of this potentially into a mine, should the numbers stack up in the future after doing all the studies and such. So that's about it for this one. As always, I encourage everyone to subscribe to the YouTube you're currently watching and visit our website. It's hands down the best way to keep up to date with all the news that we've got coming. And we do have a few of the things I mentioned earlier in the next week or two. So I look forward to talking to you on the next one. But until then,